Okay, so we've looked at triangle pose, which is, to me, the most basic of the poses, and it's really the teaching about all the other poses too. We just had a really interesting chat off air, which we might share at some future time, because this is really today just about the basics. But we're about to go into rotator triangle, which I think in some ways is the king of the postures because of the level of challenge it throws up around our tightnesses. And remember, if we're using the yoga postures in the way we are today here, which is just around our bodies, rotator triangle will teach you more about your dominances and tightnesses than almost any other posture. So to set up, Jordan's created a Charlie Chaplin scenario where the feet are essentially 10 to 2. Now with the triangle we worked from the medial arch, and now in the rotator triangle we're going to work from the grounded heel. So Jordan, if you step out. Okay, very good. So the imaginary line is running from the centre of this heel into the outer edge of that heel, and the same deal with the kneecap on the front and so forth. Now Jordan, if you put your hands over your kidneys. Right, now this will do a couple of things. Jordan's automatically centred his belly button and brought his hips so that they face the front. So that's the first coaching point on this posture. And you can see the arrangement, organisation of the rear leg is that it's outwardly rotated yet still providing a push. So from the pelvic point of view it's quite challenging. Alright Jordan, breathe in and lower your trunk to the point where you feel the first level of challenge. So the thing to do here when you're working on this or teaching this is to only go to the level you can still keep the length in the spine. Remember, the spine finishes here. Now what we should do here from a simplicity point of view is, Jordan, bend your front knee, and you can see Jordan's been able to lower his trunk. Now he's going to keep his trunk there and slowly send the knee back. So that's challenged that front hamstring in a blowtorch effect. Okay, so we've lowered the trunk and now we've challenged the front leg. Now release this hand and come to your front shin. Now Jordan got down there via rotating the spine. So again and he's in a shoulder on shoulder position, so that's really good. And now the crown of the head still lines up with the pelvic floor. Okay, release this hand to the ceiling. Good. Just a little bit stronger push back into this heel. Good. Now once again start to gaze along the floor to the base of the wall, and then up the wall to the base of the ceiling, and then along the ceiling to the top hand. Now once you get the idea of how to gaze and use the eyes in this way, you don't have to be so mechanical, but to make the point it's good to have these landmarks. Now if I'm going to help Jordan in this position, I want him to lengthen through the underside to increase his rotation. At the same time he's got to strongly ground that heel, and we're just again aware of the crown of the head to pelvic floor. So that's quite a good position, and you can see how wound up Jordan is. We're going from this left shoulder diagonally across the back into this hip, and this leg is a foundation for that rotation to occur. Now feel your feet, feel your foundation, create a push and skillfully bring the trunk up from that foundation. Yep, and coming up, and then step this leg forward. Okay, and then we could step back to set up again and do the other leg. So that's getting into and out of the rotator triangle.